It is, of course, true that some Boy Scout types have become sociologists. It is also true that a benevolent interest in people could be the biographical starting point for sociological studies. But it is important to point out that a malevolent and misanthropic outlook could serve just as well. Sociological insights are valuable to anyone concerned with action in society, but this action need not be particularly humanitarian. Some American sociologists today are employed by governmental agencies seeking to plan more livable communities for the nation. Other American sociologists are employed by governmental agencies concerned with wiping communities of hostile nations off the map, if and when the necessity should arise. Whatever the moral implications of these respective activities may be, there is no reason why interesting sociological studies could not be carried on in both. Similarly, criminology, as a special field within sociology, has uncovered valuable information about processes of crime in modern society. This information is equally valuable for those seeking to fight crime as it would be for those interested in promoting it. The fact that more criminologists have been employed by the police than by gangsters can be ascribed to the ethical bias of the criminologists themselves, the public relations of the police, and perhaps the lack of scientific sophistication of the gangsters. It has nothing to do with the character of the information itself. In sum, working with people can mean getting them out of slums or getting them into jail, selling them propaganda, or robbing them of their money, be it legally or illegally, making them produce better automobiles, or making them better bomber pilots. As an image of the sociologist, then, the phrase leaves something to be desired, even though it may serve to describe at least the initial impulse as a result of which some people turn to the study of sociology. Some additional comments are called for in connection with a closely related image of the sociologist, as a sort of theoretician for social work. This image is understandable in view of the development of sociology in America. At least one of the roots of American sociology is to be found in the worries of social workers confronted with the massive problems following in the wake of the Industrial Revolution, the rapid growth of cities and of slums within them, mass immigration, mass movements of people, the disruption of traditional ways of life, and the resulting disorientation of individuals caught in these processes. Much sociological research has been spurred by this sort of concern, and so it is still quite customary for undergraduate students planning to go into social work to major in sociology. Actually, American social work has been far more influenced by psychology than by sociology in the development of its theory. Very probably, this fact is not unrelated to what was previously said about the relative status of sociology and psychology in the popular imagination. Social workers have had to fight an uphill battle for a long time to be recognized as professionals and to get the prestige, power, and, not least, pay that such recognition entails. Looking around for a professional model to emulate, they found that of the psychiatrist to be the most natural. And so contemporary social workers receive their clients in an office, conduct 50-minute clinical interviews with them, record the interviews in quadruplicate, and discuss them with a hierarchy of supervisors. Having adopted the outward paraphernalia of the psychiatrist, they naturally also adopted his ideology. Thus, contemporary American social work theory consists very largely of a somewhat bowdlerized version of psychoanalytic psychology, a sort of poor man's Freudianism that serves to legitimate the social worker's claim to help people in a scientific way. We are not interested here in investigating the scientific validity of this synthetic doctrine. Our point is that not only does it have very little to do with sociology, but it is marked indeed by a singular obtuseness with regard to social reality. The identification of sociology with social work in the minds of many people is somewhat a phenomenon of cultural lag.